So it's been what, ages, and I still feel like there's something missing from me, right? Me. I think I'm going to consider this more of maybe daily journaling, journaling for myself. I was watching some Clintus stuff recently, just kind of here and there when I'm laying in bed, catching up on my feed, my social feeds, and I saw him talking about how he likes to go back and look through things and understand how he can make himself better for tomorrow, basically. That's the gist of it, right? That's what I took out of it. And it's something that I need in my life right now. I'm just dealing with a bunch of stuff mentally, right? It's things that are up here in my head that you guys that have been here in the past have seen like years on years on years on years of my family developing, right? But for me, I don't want my family to feel like my wanting to daily journal, right, affects their life. I want it to just affect my life and help me be better and get through my issues that I have as a person, right? As a human. I haven't committed myself to it, and I'm not going to commit to daily vlogging, but I am going to commit to self-reflection. I think that's what I'm going to key in on, is the self-reflection of being able to look back and understand things that I can do to change and make my life better, which benefits the people that are in my life the most, my family, right? Which is what I started this back in the day. Remember, if you go back and watch some of the first vlogs that we did, right? They were me going through having cancer and getting rid of cancer, and then giving my family something to look back on. And we were moving at the time as well. So it was like, I wanted my friends who were left behind to be able to follow along if they chose. So I'm going to work on this, and it's going to mold and modify and change and evolve as time goes on. Is it going to be daily that I put a video up? I'm not going to commit to that. But is it going to be daily that I'm going to self-reflect and I'm going to create videos and try to incorporate aspects of my daily life, such as what a vlogger would do? Yes, I will do that. Let's move on now. That was enough of that. That was way too long-winded. And on that note, I'm going to go get started doing a few of my daily routines, right? I have a hot tub on my back patio, so I'm going to go in and make sure the chemical levels are right and the water level is right, because I haven't adjusted it in the last couple days. So I'm sure that some water has evaporated out. You can see we've got nice little plants out here. This is Amy's oasis, basically. We got lots of those guys right there. Those mourning doves, or is that a white wing? No, it's a mourning dove. And now that that's done, I'm gonna do my daily work, right? The way I said that, let me rephrase that. I'm gonna do my daily work, okay? I sit at a chair and I work all day building AI models, assessments for Microsoft 365 environments, tenant cleanliness, and just all kinds of stuff that are related to online Azure, Microsoft Stack kind of things. That's what I do for my living. I still find it hard to believe that I did this for 8 years, every single day. If you go back and watch some of those first days, it's like, man, my hair was so bad. But true story, I dyed my hair, right? Duh, like anybody didn't know that, because I didn't like my gray hair showing, and now I've just grown to accept it, and I've grown my hair out a little longer on the top so that I can just push it back and do like a slick back. That's my normal hairstyle now. I grew tired of seeing, like, my hair grows like a widow's peak here, so it kind of comes to a point, and it would always just look like I had a unicorn coming out of my forehead. So it was like, you know what, let's change things up. And I talked to my barber, and I was like, what could I do as an older gentleman, right? I'm in my 40s, probably getting closer to the 50s at this point. And I said, do whatever you want to with it. And he's like, okay, you sure? And I was like, yes, go for it. And he just did his thing, and he was like, okay, we're gonna grow it and start prepping it for a slick back. And that's what I do. So I keep it short on the sides, and the top has gotten pretty long. So it's break time. It's probably getting closer to lunchtime, but I figured I'd just come sit out here and take a break. And another one of the reasons that I decided to do this was, over the last, well, I'd say 3 years, I've had kind of some things that have been brought to the front of my head, right? And it's like, I deal with it not very often, but this time of year, it's rough on me personally. And that's why I thought about this as being like a daily journal type thing and helping me with what's going on back over there. Got some pigeons like battling over there or something. on top of the fence. The reason that I've had issues is, I don't remember if I've told you guys, for the people that have watched this in the past, but 3 years ago, on July 1st, my father passed away. And that was pretty tough to deal with. I didn't expect that because it was out of nowhere. He basically had a heart attack in his sleep and died he fell off of the bed and was dead on the floor. And my mom woke up to that. And at that time, as you know, also the people that have followed, my mom has been bedridden the majority of my children's life, like all of their life, basically. My mom was bedridden. And I do say was because she lived with us right after my dad passed. And that was kind of short-lived because 2 weeks to the day, which is today, the day that I'm recording this is July 15th, she passed away as well. So they died within 2 weeks of each other 3 years ago, and it still like eats it. Like, as you can see, my eyes, like, they just water up for no reason. I mean, I guess there is a reason, but I still haven't fully dealt with everything. And I don't want my mental state to impede anything with my children growing up, right? I want to make sure that I'm the dad that they want me to be and that they need me to be. And that's my biggest fear in life, is that that I become something that they're not happy with, right? I mean, that's kind of weird because you should always deal with your internal happiness, but they are a part of me, so that means the world to me, is what my family thinks about me. Now, what you guys think about me, I mean, I could give it or take it. It doesn't really matter. It's your opinion, right? Everybody's allowed to have an opinion. And if you don't like me, that's fine. Just move on. And if you do, and you want to hear more information that I might provide, or just listen to me journal, right? Listen to me put my thoughts out there for me to self-reflect on, and maybe it helps you down the line, then please stick around and enjoy it. But yeah, today's like a really rough day for me. Just be a human, right? Just have some human compassion. That's what I'd say. Did you just wake up, huh? Is you going outside, go potties? That's Amy's baby right there. Actually, she's between Jacob and Amy. But man, I just realized I gotta mow. What the heck? I just mowed like less than a week ago. Son of a. Day is finally completed as far as work goes. I'm waiting on Amy to get home from work because she works outside of the house now. I know at one point she was, probably the last time you guys were here, she was working as a home baker, right? A custom cookie maker, which she still does that every so often, not as often, because now she decided to go out and get a job outside of the house, which is great for her mentally, right? So she's not always stuck in the house with me. Nobody wants to be stuck with me all day, right? My hair's bugging me. I keep seeing it. I like look over here, and I'm like, oh crap, my hair, like this one piece right here just keeps going like that. But whatever. Day's over. It's about 6 o'clock in the evening. I just wrapped up some more AI work that I'm dealing with, trying to get a RAG model to work properly for this company that I'm working with, and I'm ingesting images into the RAG so that it. Never mind, you guys don't care to hear that. It's like me trying. It's funny. I'll do that same thing when I'm talking to Amy, and I start trying to explain things that went on in my day, and she's just like nodding and said, yep, and then I'm like, did you understand any of that? And she's like, nope, not a bit. Anyways, I wanted to start this off because, like I said earlier, these 2 weeks have been quite difficult on me mentally, and I do my best to try to not allow it to affect the people around me, which there's been a few days that it's affected the few people around me and made me feel worse because I'm bringing them down because I'm allowing my mental state to overtake my personality, right? So I'm working on that, doing my best, right? It's the only thing you can do. But I'm gonna take this time to just reflect on my parents for just a minute, right? Let's go to a different spot because I don't know how this audio is. I want to make sure that the audio is good. And there's an AC unit over here, and my hot tub over here is making noises. Hold on. All right, I think this will probably be a little bit better, right? So what I was saying was, I'd like to reflect on my parents a little bit here, and just hopefully it'll help me grow as well. Like, I want to try to think of a positive memory for me from my childhood or from my young adult life that my parents imprinted on me, right? Because I know that as a parent, you imprint your beliefs and your way of doing things onto your children, even if you don't mean to, like your political beliefs, your religious beliefs, even if you're not trying to, it happens, right? Because they look up to you and they learn from you and they see how you react to things. And I know that over my life, there's been times I don't react properly, and there's nothing I can do. I can't go back and change it. I just have to move forward, right? But thinking about my parents, so for my dad, one thing that always drove me nuts with my dad, when I was a kid, we didn't really have that typical father-son relationship where you go out and you play ball, you play catch or something, or we did play basketball every so often. That was because he would come out to the parks where I was at playing basketball, because I played, as a teenager, I played basketball from the time that I was done with schoolwork to the time that I was going to bed. I was playing basketball all the time. And he would come out sometimes and he would just try to get me to come inside or come in for dinner or something like that. And my parents called it supper, right? They would call me in, but he would come out and he'd start playing basketball. But one of the things that drove me nuts about my dad was that, especially, it didn't really dawn on me until he passed, was I never got to have that father-son feeling with him, like just help me work on the car, let's go fishing, go for a weekend fishing trip. And one thing that bugged me was, one thing that sticks in my head, and I remember it like clear as day, is the main time that he ever said anything to me was to fuss at me because I didn't take the trash out or I didn't clean the cat litter boxes. And those were the only things really that we had conversations about that I can remember that are sticking out in front of my head. I'm sure there were more opportunities as growing up, but those are the ones that made a mental impact on me from my father. And I'm trying to open up other options or other memories, right, of my father and me. And it's like I said, it's 3 years of me just like holding all this in, and I'm trying to figure out how to deal with it, but trying not to impact my family's life. All right, so another one would be something for my mom, and this one's kind of funny. Amy even remembers this one because this is when Amy and I started dating, right? Well, my mom loved to go to the beach in the summertime. We were just talking about this the other day, and this is the one that I'm going to always remember because this is a funny moment to look back on. At the time, I wasn't very amused by it, but we got up early on a weekend, on a Saturday, and we drove to Freeport, Texas, which is a beach. It's like Galveston, but further south, so the water looks a little bit better. Not much, but a little bit better. Beaches are kind of pretty nice too. We get there. We start getting stuff out of the vehicle, start setting up. As soon as my mom gets out of the car, a seagull shit in her hair. No kidding, no lie. And my mom had big poofy hair, right? Like she had that 80s hair. So she'd hairspray it up and curl it. So it was like just a big old lion's mane, right? And as soon as she got out of the car, seagull flew by and right on top of her hair. And she realized it. Well, we packed up and went back home. We drove an hour and almost 2 hours. It was like an hour and 40 minutes from our house. And we had to drive back home. The day was done. We didn't even get on the beach. I mean, we literally stepped on the beach, but we had to turn around and get back in the car and drive home. So I'll always remember that one, and Amy will always remember that one. It would have been simple enough just to go run out into the ocean and get your hair in the water and then worry about it when you get home. But she was always about her looks and had to look right for herself. And I mean, everybody that is living can understand that because you want to look right for yourself. And in her mind, she had to have that 80s hair. Cool. That's what I'm going to leave that on. Like I said, I'm trying to make this less of me feeling like it's a daily vlog and I have to get it done and I have to get the editing done, and more of a let me journal some stuff for me to look back on. Exactly like I started this whole thing. I'm probably going to actually start looking at some of our old videos and just kind of I don't know, see how I could have improved it. Like I said, watching Clintus earlier today when he had posted his vlog made me start thinking about how I can better myself, right? So with that said, I'm gonna say thank you, Clint. You know, it's awesome that you're still continuing to daily vlog, that you still have that hunger to do it, you know, watching what you had said earlier when I watched the vlog, it made me realize that I do miss this aspect, and I can try to find times where I can make time for myself, right? It's kind of hard to articulate that, because I was a daily vlogger for a long time, and then I stopped, and it was hard when I stopped. And then I tried to figure out ways to still do YouTube, and it just wasn't working out. I put too much pressure on myself. I failed, you know. You get knocked down and you get back up, right? That's what the saying says, what you're supposed to do, right? You get back up. And for me, I'm going to go ahead and get back up and do this as I choose. And it's not going to be vlogging, although it still falls into that category. It's journaling for me, okay? It's for me to look on and for me to see if I'm getting better daily and I'm getting past my hurdles in life. Here and there, you might see clips from Xander playing high school baseball or the family out doing something. But for the most part, this is going to be me talking to the camera so that I can self-reflect. That's pretty much it. I know this one was kind of long. I don't know how long they'll be. I'm not going to give myself a time limit. We'll see how it goes. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did stick around, if you're new to the channel and you want to watch me self-reflect on myself, by all means, please hit that subscribe button. Leave me some comments. I'll do my best to interact, but like I said, this is really for me. And I hope that me is enough for me, you know? If not, and I feel like I have to do more, then I'm probably gonna fail again. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. All right, see you guys next time.